Inner alchemy creates a bridge between the world of matter and subtlety, based on intelligence and sensitivity that leads to knowledge and wisdom. It fosters self-mastery that reinforces creativity to impact every moment and build a better future. Man and woman, we discover the power that catalyzes our world in order to recognize and influence reality at multiple levels. For men, inner alchemy teaches conscious, multidimensional management, construction of form, and expansion of consciousness. For women, it reveals her own affinities with creation, from the experience of deepest intimacy that engenders and develops life, to the evolution of the race. Through the method of feminine mysteries, inner alchemy recognizes in women their unique energy structure. In other words, their capacity for fine sensibility and detection that awaken her own distinctive nature and purpose. Who then, better than a woman, instrument of life, to deeply influence the future of humanity? Our society rewards the word and linearity, physical senses, comfort, and expediency. It has been instilled in us that what is important is the outer, the other, what surrounds us, and that which is tangible. Up to now, sensitivity and depth of feeling have not been rightfully appreciated. In other words, despite granting the role of subtlety to women, what she represents has not been valued. Subjectivity and sensitivity. Although we employ a common language, woman does not learn, understand, or transmit the same way as a man. She is and lives mystery, and this does not obey logic or reason. Her faculties and abilities are at the tip of the iceberg of an extremely flexible physical, mental, and emotional structure. Her inner self witnesses a sensible and interiorized universe, always present. Under the surface of a woman, layers of sensitivity inexplicably irradiate feeling. Feeling is stronger than what she thinks, sees, or does. However practical, physical, or intellectual she might be, however much she wishes to please, accommodate, or compete with men, she maintains an enigmatic, non-verbal connection with nothingness or the all that pulsates within her. This is her strength, her power, and also the source of her great and secret anguish. The School of Feminine Mysteries reviews approaches and teachings of women from antiquity that have been transmitted in a secret manner up to now. What appears as mysterious for her reflects her posture and inner alignment with the elements that compose her. The work involves a radical change of perspective. Where a man sees detail, order, and discipline, a woman recedes into the deepest part of her inner abyss. Instead of incoherence, the dynamics that operate in creation are revealed and awaken in her as direct knowledge. She blends with the source of life in order to extract the principles that she will immediately apply, using equally concrete resources as men. In her way, every woman is a priestess. In recognizing the all in herself, she spontaneously regulates human life without artifice or tension. One could say that a woman is the way she is because her life gestating capacity grants her an acute sensitivity to accompany and modulate the evolution of her creations. This extends to her relationship with every human being. By virtue of this, and for being mother of the body of humanity and caretaker of the soul, subliminally she maintains links of multidimensional consciousness. Before using her linear mind and making the habitual associations imperceptibly, she goes through a process of affinity that connects her with subtle forces and inexplicable dynamics. Behind the appearance of every woman, there exists a system of constant synapses and metamorphoses that affect innumerable forms of life, not just physical, but also mental, inspiring men subliminally and indirectly. Her sensitive world unfolds in multiple elements, weaving meaning and significance. To understand a woman, one must stop trying and feel her. A woman is an ongoing effect. We feel her even when she is not physically present. We feel her because she has the gift of blending instinctively, and therefore she leaves an imprint. She affects all that she touches, as her children, wherever she may be, consciously or not. Without knowing it, she is a bridge between the invisible and the manifest. The word sensitivity acquires another dimension when we consider the extension, perception, and sensitive capacities of a woman. She fuses intellect and sensitivity in herself, resembling a vast computer that intuits solar explosions and stardust, feeling effects prior to recognizing or identifying them. She will understand only when she accepts herself. And this is a current problem. She does not recognize or accept her difference. To ask a woman to know what she wants is to ask the impossible. How can she limit herself to a form when she intuits the entire universe within her? How will she find the exact words when myriad sensations constantly compete for her attention? How to define the way that a woman feels and thinks? How to explain the way her senses work and how meanings emerge within this immense and chaotic dynamic of the whole within her? Sensitive, incomprehensible silence. A woman feels what she thinks and thinks what she feels. Her mind is a hologram. To believe that her satisfaction comes from merely physical sensations is to limit her to the world of matter and the apparent. To call her aggressive or masculine when she defends the enigma of her truth and resists foreign imposition is an offense to the matriarchy that engenders and protects the sanctity of life. She will never occupy, nor wishes to occupy, a man's place. Regardless of her personality or her preferences and style, whether her temperament is serene or not, if she is athletic, intellectual, romantic, or esoteric, her senses reach beyond the physical world, perceiving multiple realities and possibilities simultaneously. Her touch extends to her surroundings, becoming aware of minimal fluctuations. More than physical, her sense of smell is subtle, identifying processes of creation and disintegration of substance. Her sense of taste tends to be as fine as her intuition, able to distinguish subtle components as she subliminally associates them with feeling. Feminine mysteries awakens the innumerable keys that a woman possesses supraconsciously. Female does not oppose male. Each gender composes an indivisible unit and possesses receptive yin and expressive yang tools that manifest through their distinctive energetic structure. Regardless of how much they imitate or support one another, genders are destined to manifest their wholeness in different ways. In contrast to a man who faces the physical and mental world equipped with tangible elements and faculties, a woman impregnates herself directly with forces from the subtle and physical world without depending on calculation or deduction. She absorbs from the earth without seeking to or needing. She does not function in parts. It is all or nothing. A man learns to dominate and direct the forces of his body and his surroundings. He becomes aware and accesses multidimensionality when he contacts the innermost sensitivity within himself as non-verbal emotional sensitivity. A woman is the invisible force that drives the human model to evolve and transmute, constantly stimulating and somewhat provocative. A woman doesn't do alchemy, she is alchemy. She becomes aware when she discovers the multidisciplinary potential of her sensitive, nonlinear intelligence that allows her to influence the world indirectly but decisively. Authenticity occurs when inner faculties are accessed and become manifest. Each gender completes itself when it embraces its peculiar, subtle inner faculties. In a world of values clearly delineated by roles and labels to satisfy and emulate, we do not know how to distinguish the genuine male from the female, because it's a matter of quality, a differentiation. It is not a value based on comparison or contrast. How to understand a woman? Instead, we should ask, how can a woman recognize herself? In our world now, much depends on women becoming aware of the unexplored and necessary alternatives that lie within her very own nature.